Hey guys, kinggath here, and in this video we're going to go over how to enter the city plan contest. The first thing you need is to grab the Settlements 2 City Plan Contest Assistant mod. Link in the description, or if you've already got it, confirm you have the latest version. This is a super easy to use tool that's going to streamline the process of city planning. In fact, most of what the tool does is in the background so that you can focus on the fun part, which is designing a settlement. Now, we recommend a very small mod list when working on city plans. This will ensure as many players as possible can use your city plan, and as an added bonus, Fallout 4 tends to be much more stable if you've got a small load order, so check the description below for a recommended mod list. Now, as soon as you've exited the vault, you'll be prompted with a welcome message and a quick wizard to get things going. After that, you'll head to one of the settlements for the current contest and start designing. Every month, we've got a new set of settlements to choose from, which you can find out on my channel, on the simsettlements.com forums, as well as by updating the City Plan Contest Assistant mod, which will automatically claim those settlements when you first boot up the mod. Really, all a city plan is a settlement that appears in phases that we call levels. So we found the easiest way to approach this is to just worry about your final design and then do the levels later. So design a settlement you can be proud of, and be sure to incorporate plenty of plots. The plots are going to allow players to tinker with your design a little bit, and most importantly, allow them to gain access to the gameplay functionality that they want from Settlements 2 later. Now, once you're satisfied with your design, it's time for the Contest Assistant mod to do its part. So if you run the Contest Assistant holotape, then go to Tools, check My Settlement. It will double check to make sure you didn't forget any important items, such as the City Planner's Desk. And it will remind you of any of those things you're missing. And it'll even offer to do an advanced analysis of your settlement for the mechanics of SS2, like junk storage and other needs. But if you don't know those mechanics well, you can skip that step. Now that you've added all the items suggested by the Assistant mod, it's time to make your save file for this level. So what we've just created is what would be the level 3 design, or the final design after all upgrades are done, of your city plan that the player will see. Now, I recommend exiting workshop mode here and using the console save command so that you can name your save exactly how you want. I'd recommend something like naming it after the settlement. For example, if you're working in Sanctuary Hills level 3. That way you can always find this save quickly if you need to in the future. Now, if you go to the settlement workbench, you will find a manage option. You're going to click on this and then choose settlement layout, then export layout. This will then start up a export process. If you've got HUD framework, there'll even be a little indicator of progress in the corner. And after it's finished, which will just take a few minutes, a prompt will tell you where to find that file. You're going to go find that file and rename it something meaningful. I'd recommend just naming it after the save, so the settlement name and then the level, so you can quickly find this again when we're to the final step. You're most of the way there. The next step is going to be to create your levels. So for this, we're simply going to start scrapping some things. There's really no wrong way to do this. You can choose to scrap a chunk of your settlement, maybe start removing particular item types. For example, you could remove all the decorations, or maybe you want to just remove a handful of the plots. But the goal is just to create a noticeable difference in your design between each level. So once you've taken out a chunk, you're going to save this as your level 2. Then you're going to repeat the export process. And now I would recommend, again, keeping a consistent naming scheme so that you've got one that's level 3, another level 2, and so forth. And then you're going to repeat this process 2 more times. So next you'll do the level 1 version, and then finally you get to what we call the foundation level, or the level 0 version. This is what players see when they first build your city plan. So generally this is very, very minimalist, mostly just plots and some foundation pieces, so that the player feels like they're watching the settlers build the entire settlement up from nothing. All right, so now at this point, you'll have 4 save files and 4 exports, which means you're ready to create the mod. And thanks to our web tool, it's really, really easy. No fancy, complex things at all. So if you head to the link below to the City Plan Maker tool, the fields you have to fill out are real straightforward. You're entering in a name for your city plan, who designed it, and a little description to tell the player more about it. Then you're going to click the button that says Switch to Leveled Plan. And at that, you're going to get 4 file buttons where you can upload your 4 log files, and each is clearly labeled to match the corresponding level. Then finally, you're going to click on the Create ESP file or the Create ESL file to generate the mod. Now, if you don't understand the difference between those, I'd recommend Create ESL file, as that's the file type that allows players to use a ton more mods simultaneously. Now, that file that you just downloaded, that is ready to go. You could use that as a mod. You'll want to rename that file something meaningful to you. It comes with a default name, and you can go ahead and install that into your install with your mod manager and test it yourself. You could go share it with your friends to get feedback, post it on our forums to get feedback, or if you're ready to submit, head to nexusmods.com and upload a new entry to the contest. Just make sure you tag it with the City Plan Contest tag, And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, if you'd like some help with uploading your mod, if you're a little nervous about that, we do have a team account set up for Sim Settlements where we can upload your entry for you. And if you have any additional questions about the city plan contest, we've got multiple avenues you can get information. We've got a more advanced video, a version of this that's a little more in-depth. We've got the forum set up with a very, very helpful community, especially from the first seasons of the city plan contest prior to me making this video. A lot of people are very familiar with the process. We've also got the Add-on Makers Toolkit, which has a lot of detailed text tutorials if you prefer to learn by reading. And of course, if you want more feedback on your design before you submit it or anything else like that, the simsettlements.com forums are going to be the place to be. All right, guys, with all that said, take care and good luck in the city plan contest.